wanted to get into a little Range Rover update video. I've personally owned 10 cars in 10 years, and this Range Rover Sport is among one of the best cars that I've ever owned. So a bit of background. I've owned this car for about half a year, and prior to this I had a 2012 full-size Range Rover that was unfortunately rear-ended and totaled. But collectively I've spent about 17,000 miles across both of these Land Rover products, and a little over a year in both of these cars. These cars definitely are among some of the best cars out there for the money, but they're not without their quirks for sure. So when we get started, just do a little walk around. She's looking super clean. Bit of oxidation here. I just got new tires a couple of months ago. Body is super clean. It's a little dirty, but the paint is still has that pearl and that crystallization. Oops. The interior super clean. Say hello to my dog. Hi, Kobe. The leather still super soft and plush, supportive, no cracks, no tears, no holes. They've held up really well. Everything in this car works as it should. The sunroof opens and closes, air suspension goes up and down. Interior again has held up really well inside. This car does have a mini fridge, which is pretty nice, and store drinks, boba drinks or whatever. So why don't we take it for a drive. This car does have Apple CarPlay. We're gonna leave CarPlay off so that I don't get any copyright issues. But some background about the car. I'm the third owner of the car. I've owned it. I bought the car at about 106,000 miles. So far I've done 2 oil changes. I do the oil changes myself. I've gotten all 4 new tires shortly after I bought it. Air filter, cabin air filter. I've got front and rear dash cam. This car does need new brake rotors and brake pads, and there is some creaking on the suspension, but otherwise it's been really solid. Oh, I've gotten spark plugs done as well, but other than that, this car has been really solid from my ownership experience. And this car actually came with all of the maintenance records from the first and second owner, so we know it's been well taken care of. Why don't we talk through how I use the car and my driving habits. So this car is mainly my daily driver / family dog hauler. So this is the car that I'll typically take day to day to really everywhere, right? Or long road trips across the Bay Bridge, or you know, on rainy days, rainy / cold days. I'm definitely taking this car because it has heated steering wheel and heated seats, which is pretty nice. So here's the truth about Land Rover reliability. I've had 2 Land Rovers, and both of them have been pretty solid and reliable. Now granted, I've only had both of them for 17,000 miles and 1 year, but even talking to the previous owners and other Land Rover enthusiasts, these cars do perform pretty well as long as you maintain them. Major issues that these cars are known for. So this is a 2011 Range Rover Sport with the 5.0 Jaguar engine, naturally aspirated, no supercharger. And so this is the same engine that I had on my previous Range Rover, and it also has a ZF 6-speed transmission. Transmission is pretty solid, reliable by ZF, and the engine themselves surprisingly are pretty reliable. They do come with some faults. So one of them is the timing chain guides. So that part tends to fail if the oil change intervals weren't kept up to date. Luckily for the last 2 Range Rovers that I've had, they have been pretty solid, no rattles or anything funky on cold starts. Both cars have had their cooling systems replaced. So the water pump, thermostat, the front and rear coolant crossover pipes is a common failure point in these cars. So those have been addressed. The air suspension has actually been pretty solid on both of the Range Rovers that I've had. So this car is still on the original airbags and compressor, which is pretty impressive, having 113,000 miles on the clock. The previous Range Rover full size that I had the front airbags and the compressor replaced. Car does not have any oil leaks. I think that's about it as far as reliability is concerned. Some of the costs associated with ownership is of course the gas mileage. So the gas mileage is pretty subpar on both of these cars. Now granted, if you're buying a Range Rover, you should not be the kind of person that cares about gas mileage. Having said that, I personally think for what the car is and what it offers, the gas mileage isn't that bad. So I average around 15 miles a gallon, 18 if I'm going on a long distance drive, but typically it's 15 miles a gallon combined MPG. The other thing to keep in mind is the labor costs for a Land Rover product, if you are going to be taking it into a mechanic, are typically like 20 to 30% higher than, say, like a BMW independent mechanic, just from my experience. All right, so wanted to talk through the driving experience. So this car has presence like no other on the road, man, especially for the cost of what you're paying, right? I mean, I bought this car for 10 grand, and for $10,000, you are not going to find anything with this kind of presence, luxury, comfort. And it's the perfect blend of all these things, right? I mean, it looks so clean. It's a 16-year-old car at this point, and it still looks like it can fit in and blend in with traffic on the road. And the comfort is unreal. I mean, the glass that they use in this car is super thick. The sound deadening is unmatched. The sound system is excellent, right? Harman Kardon sound system plus the sound deadening. This car just sounds amazing. I mean, you feel like a boss riding around in this car. And again, this car has a presence, right? Like, people take notice when you show up in this car, even though at the end of the day it's a $10,000 car. A brand new Honda Accord, Honda Civic is more expensive than this car. But I'll give you an example. The gym that I go to, I've built a rapport with some of the front desk staff, and one day he saw me pulling up to the parking lot in my Range Rover Sport, and from then on he keeps making jokes about me being a millionaire, even though the car that he drives is likely more expensive than this Range Rover Sport, right? So if you're into that kind of thing, that is a plus. Now, that being said, I'd say for long road trips, this car, the comfort, the presence, it's unmatched. Now, some of the things that have gone wrong for my car personally, when I first bought the car, all 4 tires were pretty shredded, so I went and got that replaced pretty quickly, shortly after I bought the car. And I've actually damaged 2 of the rear passenger tires on this car, and I've damaged both of them the same way. So turning right into a tight parking space, and I just so happened to hit the rear passenger tire, and so luckily I've got warranty on both, and so I've had to get both of them replaced basically for free. So do I still love this car, and am I planning on keeping it forever? The answer is yes. If all goes well, this is a car that I see myself keeping forever. Here's why I still love this car, and here's why I plan on keeping it forever. This car, there's just nothing like it. I mean, once you get into a Range Rover, you know what I'm talking about. Just the driving experience, the presence, the experience of owning one. It's unmatched. And honestly, for the amount of money that I could get for this car, there's just nothing else that I could buy on the market that comes close to providing what this car offers. So should you buy one? I'd say you should buy one if you're comfortable with either wrenching on the car yourself, doing some DIY maintenance, or if you have access to a trusted independent Land Rover mechanic. Having said that, I think if you're watching this video, then I highly recommend you buy one. I mean, these cars, they deserve to be on the road. They deserve to be maintained. And every time I see one, I'm just so happy to see another one on the road. Now, who should not buy one? So if you're the kind of person who cares a lot about a simple ownership experience, you want maintenance-free motoring, you live paycheck to paycheck, or you just don't want to deal with repairing or diagnosing issues, then you should not buy one. You know, look elsewhere. But if you're the kind of person who enjoys either working on your own cars or learning about cars, then I highly recommend you pick one of these up while they're still around. And so one of the reasons why I love this generation of Land Rover is because they're not too complex. The new Land Rovers, the new Range Rovers have so many electronic systems. Basically everything has a computer attached to it. And so that's more potential items to break, right? Whereas the L320 and the L322 Range Rover, these generation Range Rovers, they provide enough luxury and enough creature comforts to feel modern, but nothing too complex that things can break, right? Especially at the HSE, especially at these trim levels, right? I mean, I have heated seats, a heated steering wheel, I've got a sunroof, air suspension, I've got a mini fridge right here. I mean, this is basically all of the creature comforts that you'll need in your daily driving duties, right? And this car performs well. I mean, I've taken this car on many long road trips. I've hauled family, my dog Kobe, so many things, and this car just handles whatever you throw at it. And so in conclusion, would I recommend buying a Range Rover Sport or a full-size Range Rover of this generation? And the answer is absolutely 100% yes, especially if you have access to the service records for the car, if the previous owner seems to be responsible, if the car's been looked after, then these cars will last long. Maybe in one of my next videos, I'll do a breakdown of some of the maintenance items that have been done on this car, because I have all the service records from the car, which is pretty insane. You don't really see that all too often. In conclusion, yes, there is nothing like the Range Rover for the money. These cars are a bargain. I mean, you get a lot of car for the money. You're getting something that's spacious, it's comfortable, it's cozy, it has presence, it feels special to drive, it's not boring, it has a soul. And for the amount of money that you're paying for it, just set aside a few grand for surprise or deferred maintenance. Thank you so much for watching. Peace.